But if you want to financially support us, plus get materials that'll wake people up, people are ready to be awakened, the books, the videos, the DVDs, the films, the materials, Infowars.com, the online video bookstore shopping carts. We got 2 different shopping carts to choose from. You can go check out the same specials and combos on both sites, Infowars.com, or you can call toll-free to get books and videos like Fall of the Republic, the Presidency of Barack H. Obama. Fall of the Republic documents how an offshore corporate cartel is bankrupting the United States economy. By design, leaders are now declaring that the world government has arrived and the dollar will be replaced with a new global currency. President Obama has brazenly violated Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution by seating himself at the head of the United Nations Security Council, thus becoming the first U.S. president to chair the world body. A scientific dictatorship is in the final stages of completion, and laws protecting basic human rights are being abolished worldwide. An iron curtain of high-tech tyranny is now descending over the planet. And it goes on from there. Such an essential film. Invisible Empire, New World Order Defined, our newest film. Such an essential film for everyone to see. A New World Order on trial. Worldwide tyranny isn't coming, it's here. Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. They want you dead. For the New World Order, a world government's just the beginning. Camp FEMA, Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic, a way to take the states back. A positive, solution-filled film to take back our counties with the county sheriff. Are we men or are we mice? Do we have the spirit of liberty and victory in our hearts and in our minds and in burning in our eyes? It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's up to you. Get the films, make copies of my films, get them out to everyone you know, air them on Access TV, hand them out to people at work, give them to people at church, whatever. Will you save the world by yourself? No, but the spirit of liberty, the spirit of resistance is victory. In that spirit, that commitment that we will win, we will defeat the globalists, we will never stop, we will bring down the New World Order. We don't have a choice. All right, let me start at the beginning again, just headlines. Daily presidential tracking poll, Obama falls to his lowest yet, 41 points. $7 a gallon gas, President Obama's solution for the Gulf oil spill, $7 a gallon gas. That's Harvard University study estimates the price per gallon of the president's global warming agenda, cap and trade. Continuing, Obama plans to sneak through carbon tax by stealth. Carrie Lieberman not worried cap and trade bill will hurt Democrats. Yeah, because the voting machines are in place. Hayward estimates size of Gulf oil spill at oil field at 2 billion gallons. That's how much oil they think is down in that hole, down in that reservoir that's been tapped now. BP oil spill against Governor Jindal's wishes, crude oil barges stopped by Coast Guard. You've got to follow federal regulations. They've got to get approval for everything. You don't do anything in America without the Mafia Fed telling you you're allowed to. You understand, states? Sit down and shut up. They've got all these TV programs in the Southern Poverty Law Center saying that, oh, if you're against the federal takeover, you're a terrorist racist. Yeah, we know who the terrorists are, buddy. Who died and made BP the king of the Gulf of Mexico? That's a question myself and many others want to know. Here's another one. BP tells cleanup workers they'll be fired if they wear respirators. You can't even wear a basic cotton surgical mask because that's not good for PR. Because then the cover-up that all these toxic fumes are hitting the Gulf will come out. Then there'll be all those liability claims, just like all the police and firemen and medical workers and emergency crew people and construction people, demolition crews that breathed all that asbestos and concrete and mercury and other things. And then they went into all the major university medical centers and their lungs were just filled with plaques of deadly chemicals. And over 5,000 have now died. Just a year and a half ago, it was 3,000. And all the police dogs died within 4 years from cancer of their nasal passages and of their sinus. And what did the government say? There's nothing wrong. There's no toxic waste. Go home and die. You're not getting any treatment. We're the government. You're scum. It was a little gift by the U.S. government, by Harry Truman to the Russians. Oh, you want 21,000 U.S. troops found in German camps? U.S. prisoners of war? You want You want 21,000 to interrogate and for your slave camps? Stalin, we love you. Have a French kiss. You want our troops for slaves? We hate them as much as you do. We'll show you how evil we are to freak you out, Stalin. We just dropped A-bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to show everybody how tough we are, even though the Japanese had unconditionally already surrendered by radio. Have our troops kill them. We're the government in 1945, pure evil. And now, 60-plus years later, how evil do you think they are? But you're naive, America. You'll never wake up to it. That's your blind spot. There's no way you can stop us. BP tells cleanup workers they'll be fired if they wear respirators, and they'll be called conspiracy theorists and un-American scum by the news. Remember the New York Post? And Fox calling the police just a few months ago conspiracy theorist, ambulance-chasing trash. Oh, Fox tells you how much they love cops all day and pats you on the head. But when you actually need help, I'm afraid you're worse than toilet paper. BP tells cleanup workers they'll be fired. You don't get any stinking respirators. I'll continue to hit headlines, and then your calls, I promise, when we start the next hour, directly your calls. But I've got to cover this news. You'd have a total group of criminals running everything who compete with each other on how evil they can be, and you've been naive. Wake up before it's too late. You know, I know I'm ranting because we're watching the entire world government takeover plan take place. I mean, it's incredible. Bankrupt by design. My children have no future. I have no future. You have no future. I mean, these people really are as evil as I'm saying. They're so evil. They're so corrupt. They're so down and dirty and nasty and treacherous that I don't even have words. But you know what Stalin did. You know what Hitler and Mao and Pol Pot and Fidel Castro did. I mean, this is what normally happens. And these guys write all these textbooks about how other elites have failed to kill everyone and cement their total global domination because they weren't ruthless enough and didn't exterminate all their enemies. They weren't scientific about their tyranny. But we're going to do it. We're going to put fluoride in their water and dumb them down and sterilize them. This is from the 1920s. I've literally got hundreds of textbooks and documents. I'm waiting in it for the new film I'm making. It's so shocking. And the more I research, we'll just sit around the table doing research. I was up here at 9 o'clock at night with Aaron Dykes and Rob Jacobson last night. We were just speechless. It becomes a point you can't even talk about it anymore. You just want to warn everybody. And the public's too busy whining and crying about the World Cup. And, oh, isn't it great? The United States just won, but the referees stole one of their goals from them. Oh, we're outraged. This is so sickening. Hey, folks. That doesn't matter a hill of beans. But again, if I yelled and screamed about the U.S. having one of their goals stolen in South Africa, it would be, that's a good American right there, boy. He's mad about them damn people stealing one of our goals. But I get up here and start yelling and screaming about total criminals taking over everything, and it's like, shut up. All right, I'm going to settle down. BP tells cleanup workers they'll be fired if they wear respirators. And this is just all over. The mainstream media, Washington Post, Huffington Post, Wired, Yahoo. Those are the sources of that article at prisonplanet.com. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up anymore. It's just, you can't even imagine. Whatever I found, whatever you can imagine they're doing, if you go randomly search engine it, like it was about a month ago, and I said, I'll guarantee you they're mixing it with jet fuel, because I've seen other patents about mixing aerosolized chemicals in with jet fuel at the source, so it's compartmentalized for weather modification. I'll bet there's a Pentagon patent and program, because that'd be the group they'd pick to carry it out. I already knew they had done some studies 20 years ago or more about adding it to jet fuel to manipulate weather. And Aaron comes running in and goes, oh, my God, it's Army.mil, it's State Department, it's all here. They admit they're doing it. Here it is. I mean, this is what we're putting in my new chemtrail film. You notice I'm not hiding that. I know other people are making chemtrail films. Good, stick it in your chemtrail film. All I want to do is get the word out, folks. I mean, anything I can imagine that's based on understanding this enemy, I can then go search it, and there it is. Any evil you can imagine, they've already done it. What does the Bible say? They would ran around continually inventing new evil, inventing sins, inventing blasphemies, Blasphemies against the creation. Blasphemies against the beauty of the world. Blasphemy. I mean, I look at my children, innocent, loving, good, full of life. And I think about how innocent and decent and wholesome they are. And I think about how ravenous and corrupt this world is and how they're selling corruption to us because they know once you're corrupt and once you're not virtuous that your mind becomes shuttered to other realities and your heart becomes hardened and you become spiritually blinded. It's one thing to read that in the Bible. It's another thing to physically experience it and to see how those that have chosen evil make jokes about everything. They giggle about evil. They giggle about corruption. They giggle when you warn them. They giggle when you have heart. They giggle when you have fight. They giggle at everything strong, everything good, everything real. Well, don't worry, all you giggling, unhappy, soft scum. You want to be enslaved and smashed into guts? You will be by your owners.